No, but why is the church charging rent for a soup kitchen in the first place? Why is a church that is tax exempt, that doesn't pay property taxes, charging rent to anybody, let alone a soup kitchen, in the first place? Isn't the reason that they're tax exempt that they do charity, things like help feed the poor? Now, because your attention span is probably shot, I'm going to go ahead and put their GoFundMe at the beginning of this video. Links in the place where it normally is, do all the TikTok things to help get this out there so we can help this soup kitchen. And now I'll tell you the rest of the story. So this is the Wildwood Soup Kitchen, and they rent out a place in the First Presbyterian Church of Wildwood, Florida. They are entirely volunteer run. They have somewhere around 750 volunteers who make and distribute about 4,000 free meals a week. It's about to be the holidays, some of the busiest times of the year for a soup kitchen. It's about to be Christmas, you know, the whole reason that there is a church in the first place. The holiday in celebration of the birth of Jesus. You know, a man famous, amongst other things, for feeding the poor. And very specifically, repeatedly telling his followers to feed the poor. It was a big deal to him. Well, this church has given the Wildwood Soup Kitchen an ultimatum. In October, they told them that they were either going to double their rent and they had to use less space, or they needed to be out by the end of December. You know, 5 days after celebrating the man who told them to feed the poor and the whole reason why they don't pay taxes for the building. Luckily, they have found a suitable building. But on top of it being the busiest time of year for the soup kitchen, they also have almost no notice to raise enough money to buy that building. But this is the internet, and we raise money all the time for much worse things. So like I said, they didn't have a GoFundMe, so I made them one. The link's in my bio. But they also accept donations directly on their website, or you could send checks or money orders to this address. So we can all just make sure they can continue to feed people